Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Soul Goals. I'm Dawn. Right next to me is the beautiful Dixie in green.
Hello. My
Hello.
favorite color.
Hello. You're a leprechaun? Is that what you just called yourself?
No, I said my favorite color.
Oh, I thought you said.
Well, I could be that today. I absolutely could be. It's not St. Patrick's Day, but I could be. So,
Yeah, well, if you are not watching this on YouTube, I just want to let you know Dixie's wearing the most beautiful shade of green, as any young lady would say. It looks gorgeous on you, young
oh,
lady.
thanks.
Yeah, yeah. So I want to welcome you guys to the second episode of season number 2 of the Soul Goals podcast. Knowing that if you are new and you didn't catch the first episode, we're taking a little twist on things this year. So last year we spent a lot of time listening to other people's stories. And this year we're taking that self growth to another level by taking on some really interesting personal growth exercises each week. My great friend Dixie has so graciously stepped in to assist me with this and take part in them with me. And then each week we come together and we give you the lowdown on what worked about the self exercise, so personal growth self exercise, what didn't. Yeah, and what the takeaway basically was for it. So I kind of feel like we're doing like a social experiment, like we're almost like we're lab rats trying this stuff out for people.
Right, right. I love it.
Yeah,
I love
but
it.
it's good because then
I'll
I
be
think too,
anybody's guinea pig. I'll be your guinea
yeah,
pig.
we like being guinea pigs. It's
Yeah,
good.
I love
Yeah,
it.
and yeah, then people can just listen in and go, "Hey, I think like that resonates with me, and I think that could really help me
Hmm.
to be, a better mom, a better wife, a better daughter, a better coworker. Like, what's going to help me grow the most in my being here? Because that's really what we're here to do: is grow,
Hmm.
evolve, and just become the best version of ourselves that we possibly can be. So,
Absolutely.
yeah. Takes a little
Yeah.
elbow grease, but here we go. And hey, another thing I could say too is like in some of these exercises that we're going to do through the year that I was writing them down on the calendar
Mhm.
for you the other day, I just looked back and I was like, wow, like there's some challenging things that we have coming up. I know.
Yes, I was reading through them and I was like, some of them I'm like, oh yeah, this can be fun. Others I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I haven't done that before. Like there's a couple just right off the top of my head. I'm not gonna say what they are, just I'm not gonna do a spoiler. But yeah, some of them are gonna be challenging, but I'm super excited about it.
Yeah. And I think too, when we are challenged by something, it just means that I mean, there's something there we have to uncover, something we got to look at a little deeper. And that's me. Like it's this process of some of these things that I'm not really looking forward to, but I know are really integral in my growth as a person, myself personally. So our
Yes. I
hope,
just yeah. Is that
well,
well, I'm sorry I interrupted, but um when I turned 50, I decided I'm 54 now, but when I turned 50, I decided that I would do whatever I could do for like the latter part of my life
yeah.
to outgrow the former. And so I'm
Oh,
always on a quest of that's why you see me all the time trying something new or doing this or chasing this dream or whatever. I just
yes.
don't think we should ever stop doing that.
I see that's what I love about you. And another reason why I was like, hey, will you please do this with me? Because you are open-minded and you're this growth mindset. And I think that's really invaluable to share that with other people so that
Mhm.
we can all kind of uncover that piece of ourselves because I totally agree with you. I think
Mhm.
we're here to grow and I
I
don't
do
think we
too.
need to stop. No.
No, no. I love it. I love it.
Okay, so our week number 2 challenge was making your bed every day. And this kind of came on the heels of, I love it, Admiral Will, I got to read his name so I don't read it
Mhm.
improperly. Admiral William McRaven. And he wrote a book called Make Your Bed, Little Things That Can Change Your Life and Maybe the World. And he wrote this book quite a while ago. It was based on his commencement speech that he gave at the University of Texas. And Admiral McRaven was a former Navy SEAL. And a lot of the stuff that he writes in
Mhm.
that book was about the principles that he took upon himself to get him through that Navy SEAL training. And I mean, I don't know, like if our listeners know what Navy SEALs actually have to go through. My husband had a friend that went through it and just sat with him when he's no longer in it, and was just like his eyes were just like, whoa,
Mhm.
whoa,
Mhm. When you
crazy.
hear a Navy SEAL talk about the Navy SEAL train, like buds,
Yeah,
it's I don't have words for that.
no,
They are superheroes.
yeah, Totally, totally. And
Mhm.
his idea, Admiral McRaven's idea was this: if you get up and make your bed first thing, that you have this, it kind of gets your day going in a way that is something you can control in your uncontrollables of your life. It gets your foot started off on the right path, and it's just a very consistent way of attending to your world. And it like ultimately it's something very small, but it's a really big springboard for success of your day. And it's really crazy when I think about it because my older daughter started doing that when she went to college, like always made her bed. And there was a couple days she said she didn't get to make her bed. I remember her going, I just had the worst day and I did not make my bed this morning. And like she just threw that in there. I was like, oh, okay. So there's something to that for her anyway. So
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm interested to know, how did this go for you this week? Do you normally make your bed?
It's funny that you ask. I'm a super inconsistent person when it comes to making my bed. Um, some days I do, some days I don't. But I guess it was a few months ago, probably 6 months ago, I was talking to my coach about this stage of life that I have found myself in and
Mhm.
regaining my fitness. And I had like this laundry list of things I was going to do. And she said, okay, that's great. Let's just pick one thing and let's do that every day this week and see how you feel. She said, what's the one thing that you want to do? And I said, I should probably make my bed every day. And said, I think that when I make my bed, I set myself up for a better day. I've already like completed a task before I even, start anything else. She
Yes.
said, okay, let's do it. And she said, let's pick another one. So it was make my bed and wash my face at night. Those are my two
Okay.
things to get me back on track to be consistent. She said, we need to find something you can just be consistent with.
Yeah.
So I did that. And then I've kind of fallen off the train of making the bed until
Okay.
this week.
Oh,
And
okay.
until we did it, and
Yeah.
now I've made it every day. And yeah, I'm with you. It makes a difference
Yeah.
because I feel like I've accomplished something already. And then my room is clean.
Yeah.
Everything's like I'm starting the day in just an organized space. And for my personality, that does a world of good for me.
Right.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Same for me. Same for me. I
Hmm.
think that in our last episode, I was talking about like the dishes being in the sink or on the
Hmm.
countertop
Hmm.
before. Yeah, as a mom, like it's the like I want to make sure that things are prepared for the next morning. So in case everything hits the fan in the
Right.
morning, right? Or
Right.
we get up late, which happens quite a bit around our house for some reason or not in the season of life we're in. And it just there's a lot that goes with that consistency of having a space that is in order,
Hmm.
and you go, oh, okay, I completed a task and I can see it.
Hmm.
You know, another thing I is that's so funny. Do you ever cut the grass or does your husband cut the grass or your son?
Well, we used to all take turns doing it, and actually, I have someone that cuts it for us now because we're all working full time and full time
You're
student and
busy.
all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
yes.
When I was growing up, I actually that was one of my chores was to cut the
Mhm.
grass, and I actually is one of the things that I totally didn't mind doing because it's almost like it was an instant gratification.
Oh yeah, I loved it. My husband traveled overseas for years, and it was me and the kids,
Yeah.
and I would cut the grass. Mark Joseph and I would take turns, but I would cut the grass, and I loved that. I loved the feeling of accomplishment.
Yeah. I feel like the bed thing for me is kind of like and it's so silly, but it's not. I say that kind of like from one side to the other because
Yeah.
I feel like it's a very trivial, could be a meaningless little task, but it sets your day up. It
Yeah.
sets your day up. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. My lamp has little gremlins in it, and it goes off and on. So it may turn back on in just a minute. So I apologize for the crazy. I think it's still okay. The lighting is still good.
Your
So
lighting is beautiful. It's
um,
great.
do you have pillows on your bed though? I have to ask.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
And that's funny that you bring that one up too, because they drive my husband bananas. And I would think probably most any woman would love to just your bed is your space and it's this big homage and this beautiful
Hmm.
if you could set it up the way you wanted to with all the beautiful cushions and all the throws and all the stuff. So I like literally about a month and a half ago, I decided it's time for a new duvet cover and I'm going to go to Home Goods and invest in some really cute pillows and Of course, then I got a white duvet cover, which I'm not sure why, because we live on a couple of acres with 2 messy dogs, and yeah, I'm
Yes,
washing it
I
all the
I
time.
have a white one too, and I have no idea why,
I
but it's so beautiful. I
like it.
love the white.
Right. And the first thing my husband did is like, "Well, you're gonna put a white bedspread on our bed with a lab and a healer that like to dig in the yard." Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes,
you know
I
what? Yes,
am.
I am. And I'm gonna make the bed every day.
Right. No,
So
that's
for
so
me, like,
funny.
this week was not a big deal. It was
Mhm.
really, really pretty easy because it's kind of part of my routine, but I will say was traveling, with my daughter a couple of weekends ago, and we were in a hotel, and I'm like, "This is falling during this week." Like, I'm not home to make my bed. I wonder what the housekeeper is gonna think when they come in our room when we check out, because we were only there for one night. I wonder if she's gonna go, "Do I have, like, a serial killer living in this room?" 'Cause, like, I,
Who
like,
makes
wanted
their
to make
bed
sure
in a
that the bed
hotel?
was yeah, like, I wanted to leave her a note and say, like, change the sheets. I did sleep in this bed, but I also felt like I needed to make the bed because that's I committed to doing this week, and I'm very German like that.
Right, right. I love it. I love it.
And I'm
That's
gonna
so
do it.
great.
But
And you
outside of that, it was pretty like, making my bed always makes me feel like I have just accomplished something to start the day, and it makes me feel almost like settled.
Mhm.
I've done something to springboard my day.
Absolutely. I love the white duvet and the pillows. Um, I recently redid ours too, and it's all white and it has
Yep.
some gray in there too, but gray pillows. But it's an exorbitant amount of pillows. And so Anna, it's so funny. Her and 2 friends flew in this past weekend for a conference they went to in Nashville. So my house was packed to people.
Uh-huh.
And I put out all of our fall decorations right before
Oh,
they all came. I love fall. I love all things like I love pumpkins out and candles and all the things. And I have these 2 pillows on my bed that have pumpkins on them. And
okay.
I put them on my bed because I bought them last fall and I didn't feel like they just went in the living space. So I
Mhm.
was like, I'll just put them on my bed. I love fall. Just so the fall, it'll just be like that. And
Yeah.
she said, Mom, do you flip these pillows around the rest of the year to the white side? I was like, I do. She said, I can't believe that like 10 months out of the year they're white and then you just flip them
To
over
magically flip.
and it's fall, it's pumpkins. I was like,
Yes,
I
I
get
love
it.
it.
Because I don't want to forget them. I don't want to like pack them away and then not have them and then be like, why did I forgot about these pillows. So I just
Oh,
flip them over. You can't see the pumpkins, but
but it's
any other
perfect.
time
It
of year.
fits with your decor.
Right. And so she thought that that was hysterical. She said, I think it's funny that you flip them over when it's not fall and then you flip them on the other side when it is. I said, why is that funny? I feel like
I think it's really smart,
that's
personally.
what I said.
Hey, but question here, do you know if she makes her bed every day?
She does not. um, I'm gonna say sometimes she does because she'll say, "Oh, I made my bed today." But
Oh,
yeah, on the regular, I'm gonna say no. And my son
okay.
doesn't either, so I don't know.
Well, I know so my older daughter does, and she didn't until she went to college. Like, that
Mhm.
just became something that she was like and it was because of the book. It was
Yeah,
because she
that's
read the
so
book.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, my younger daughter, half and half. And when I say she makes her bed, I mean, she takes the bedspread and just, like, flips it,
Mhm.
and that's it. But there's no organization to it.
Right.
So, I have one completely this way and one completely the other way.
Yeah.
But, I wanna say something about that book, the Make Your Bed, the Little Things That Can Change Your Life book. I've had a couple different friends that I know that have graduated and a couple that have decided to go into the military, and I bought that book for them, and I was like, "I want you to take this with you because I just think this is super, super important." It's like, if you haven't seen this book, it's a very small book. It's a very easy
Mhm.
read. It's
Yeah.
very uplifting and
Mhm.
encouraging.
It
Um,
is.
but the thing I think the takeaway is, bottom line is, we do have some things within our control, and that is one of them that can really make a very big difference in the way your day is handled and how you feel about your movement through the day by
Mhm.
going, okay, I've done something this morning. I can see it. It's concrete. It's solid by my
Yeah.
effort. I put my effort into it.
Yeah, you start the day with a win. That's You start it with a win. I'm
Yeah,
starting my day with a W. And you can't crawl back in it because you're not going to crawl back in the bed if it's made.
you were
That's me.
right.
I'm not, if I'm up, I can't go. I mean, I make it immediately
Yeah.
because
Yep.
I remove the excuse to just like, I'll just crawl back in for 30 minutes. No.
Oh, Dixie, that's beautiful because I wouldn't have thought about that, but that makes so much sense. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, sometimes I would be tempted to do that from time to time.
I can
If
see me.
I'm being honest. So
We are like, what did I say last week? We are going to be brutally honest about things. So yeah,
Mhm,
yeah, totally, totally. I could do the same thing. And I think I
mhm.
actually have done the same thing.
Yeah, oh, I
So,
totally have. So,
mhm,
and I'll get up and I'm like, when it wasn't the challenge week, sometimes I'm like, do I want to make it or do I want to like get another 45 minutes in?
right. And you go, I will say sometimes you got to get the extra sleep. I
Oh,
mean,
for sure.
as
Yeah.
yeah, when we're talking about being physical and lifting weights and doing good self-care and all those things. So we do, that's, neither here
Part of
nor
it
there.
too.
Mhm,
Yeah.
yeah. You
Yeah.
gotta have fluidity in your day, but
There you go.
yeah, our challenge for you will be to make your bed for 1 full week and then see if you can't do that regularly moving
Yeah.
forward. That
Yeah.
makes you
I love it. Yep.
okay.
I will continue to make my
Yes,
bed
I
every
will
day.
too. Amen, sister. Okay, week number 2 in the books. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, guys, get ready. Week number 3 is gonna be up next, and can't wait to share with you what that one's gonna be, but we'll have more on that next week. So glad you joined us from Dawn and my great friend.
And Dixie.
Yes. We'll see you again next week, guys. Thank you.
Right. Bye.
Bye.